Hola, buenas noches.
Buenos días, buenas tardes.
This is Barb.
This is Estela.
And welcome to
Cafecito
and Crime After Hours.
Yeah.
So the reason that we do, because I think we have a little bit of new followers, the reason that we have After Hours, it doesn't mean that we're doing anything different. It just means that we're recording at the nighttime.
Yeah.
And instead of having coffee, we have coffee-inspired cocktail.
Yeah. Well, we mostly have done, I think this is the second time we've only done espresso martinis. And then before that, I think we had only done Trulies or something.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And margaritas, no?
We had margaritas one time.
Cuando estuvo Vanessa?
Yeah, I think we had margaritas. That was fun. But
yeah,
anyway,
that was in.
So we are going to, if you hear us kind of drinking, it's because of that.
Slurp.
Slurp, slurp.
It's my turn. My case this week.
Oh, today's...
But first of all, I forgot, as soon as I got here, no te dije.
Okay.
I don't know if you care or not, or if anybody else cares or not.
What?
Pero Jersey Shore just tweeted or posted on social media that Sammy is making a return to the show. Do you care? I care. My friends care. My other friend cares. She just tagged me. I'm like, we will be tuning in.
No, I'm pretty sure you'll tune in. I just think Sammy was not my favorite.
No, but I think since she's the only one that didn't return for the family vacation reunion.
True. I mean, I just feel like Sammy was kind of like a crybaby to me.
Yeah.
So she was not my favorite. But I mean, yeah, I guess I could care. I mean,
I'm sure they offered her money because she's the only one that didn't return.
Money.
Talks.
Money talks all the time.
And maybe that was her plan all along. I can't wait. I'm
the
so excited.
The whole time.
She looks to have been thriving since the show ended.
Yeah. So we're drinking, like I said, we are having...
Barbie did not care about Sammy coming
Not
back.
one fucking bit. So we have I think it's like a espresso martini.
Pero we used a Bailey's churro.
Okay, so here's a story about the churros. Not that you guys care, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So I saw one of my sisters went to Mexico.
In December, right? Or November. Last year.
And she sent me a picture of the churro Bailey's.
Times Bailey.
Times Bailey. So
collab.
It's like a collab. And so then I'm like dying. So I texted to Stella. I'm like, hey, dude, we have to buy this, blah, blah. And Stella's like, yeah, well, we'll look for it. I'm sure they have it at here.
Whatever.
So then I go and do my research. And guess what? It's not sold in the United States.
It's only a collab with that churreria in Mexico.
So then my dad goes, right? And so I'm like, Dad,
if you find it,
por
si
favor,
puedes.
tráeme esto. And then, of course, I had to hear, like, eres una pinche borracha, the whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, I know, whatever. So then he didn't find it the first time. And then
I went to Mexico at the end.
Estela
in December.
went to Mexico. And then
I brought it.
No, he brought it too before that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both brought it. Yeah, so now I have 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Pero, so then she had tried it because she was like, it was so good. I'm like, okay, so now I needed to try it. So we made the espresso martini.
You hadn't tried it before?
No, I hadn't opened it.
I tried it with, I was reading the bottle and you can put it on ice cream. And I have thought about that before. So I don't know if you know that I bought one of the little, because I didn't know how it was going to taste. So I bought one of the little Haagen-Dazs, the plain vanilla one, y se lo echo encima del churro with Bailey's. It was so good.
But anyway, so this tastes really good.
Yeah.
And my husband said it was strong, but he doesn't drink, so... But
anyways, let's get into the story.
So let's get into the story. So if you don't mind grabbing your cafecito or your espresso martini...
Or your caffeine.
Or your caffeine, coca, whatever. Because we like
energy
coca
drink.
Too. Energy drink. We like those energy drinks too.
Yeah.
Whatever you like, and let's get started.
So for today's episode, we're going to Stellenbosch, South Africa.
Wow. I think this is the first time we go to South Africa.
Yeah.
Or to Africa in general.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Hopefully it's not I'm sure it won't be the last. Mm-hmm. And the fun, random, interesting fact about Stellenbosch is that besides it being known for like its winelands and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. It is also home to the oldest documented townhouse in the whole country. Townhouse. Yeah, like casita. According to visitstellenbosch.org, Schroeder House was built in 1709.
Wow.
And managed to survive the first major fire that left the town in ruins. And obviously now it has been restored and it's part of a museum and you can go and see it. But if you ever wonder where the oldest townhome in South Africa
is. Is it like a townhome or like...
Well, la casita.
Like una casa.
Well, you think townhome like the townhome from today.
Es lo que yo pensé.
No, but not like, it's like a house in a town, but like una
Como
casita.
Un ranchito.
Yeah, una casita.
Okay,
yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, so it's...
Do you have a picture of it?
I'm going to look it up. But you can pull it up.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah. Now, today's case... I don't know about it. Not that I don't know about it. It's just kind of really unsettling because I think towards the end, you kind of still like wonder what really happened or why it happened. Because there is someone who is behind bars for the murders, but there was never really a clear reason given or a motive. And that
I hate these things, dude. I hate it when that happens.
And that person still maintains their innocence to this day.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
Yeah, because you're I want you to admit that
you did it and how you do it and all of that
because
shit.
You're in prison for it, right?
Bro,
so
I'm telling you, I was watching this Dateline documentary yesterday or the day before, and this guy, he had done some shit, right? And I was like, you need to fucking say what you did to the
really
body.
Happened.
Like, what did you do? And he didn't, pinche viejo perro, no quería decir. And I'm like, I stayed and I was like hoping, and he did al último, dijo,
yeah.
Pero he lied, of course, but the evidence, but the evidence showed us elsewhere. So he still did it. But I was just like, you need to fucking say, because the family, the whole premise of the whole show was that they wanted to find the body or at least the person, you know?
Yeah.
Pero it was so sad because her kids were so cute. Tenía dos niños y la mamá, like, she really was really sad because she really wanted her daughter back. Y el pinche viejo no decía.
And that's really always really sad when you think about it. Que, let's say that somebody does get put away for the murder of somebody that you knew or, you know, pero they never tell you where the remains were. Like,
we remember that one case that you did. I don't remember if it was the guy que anduvo poniendo los Home Depot buckets. ¿Cómo se llamaba ese guy?
Israel Keys.
Yeah, that same guy. So Israel Keys, if you don't remember, I don't remember. It was
what episode? It was early on.
It was early on. But this guy, he would go around and kill people, and then they actually told him, if you remember, they were like, hey, if you tell us where they're at, we'll give you, I mean, you know, let's talk about, I guess like they were going to do, giving him a break or something.
Yeah.
Pero he only gave him like 11 people or something like that. Y eso no, it wasn't
como que dio entender that there were way more other people that he had killed. But he killed himself and
se mató porque he's a coward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pinche viejo.
Pinche viejo.
Anyways, but we're going to talk about the Van Breda family. So the Van Breda family was very well off, like they had money. And since the crime rate in South Africa is extremely high, it was initially thought that they were targeted because of their wealth. So the Van Breda family consisted of 5 members, which is Martin and Teresa, que eran los papás, and their 3 children, Rudy, Henry, and Marley.
Okay. I like that name.
And it's kind of cute because todos los nombres, they ended with I. Rudy instead of Y. They all ended with I.
That is so cute. You would see somebody that starts the name like Kim Kardashian and Kim and Courtney and all of them with the K, but the beginning, but the ending, that's cute.
Yeah, it's cute, yeah. Now, Martin was a very successful businessman. He attended the University of Stellenbosch from 1979 to 1983, where he received his bachelor's degree in engineering. He then attended the University of Pretoria, where he got his MBA in business. So Teresa originally was from Johannesburg, and she attended the University of Johannesburg, where she got her degree in computer science and worked for IBM. So ella también no estaba pintada en la pared, you know. She
was a hard worker también.
También. And I think it was said también that ella and Martin both came from really good established families already, you know, in South Africa.
Yeah, can't relate.
So Martin and Teresa met, and then se empezaron a conocer, and then they dated, and then got married on February 16th of 1990. Their firstborn, Rudy, was born a little over 2 years after that. So
Mr. Beast wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, we just found out that Mr. Beast is 24.
I can't get over it.
And I literally thought he was like in his 30s.
Like, I'm not trying to be mean, and I hope that Mr. Beast would never, because I'm pretty sure he'll never hear this.
Yeah.
Pero, like, he does look a lot older than 24. And when I saw that, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Stella Mentirosa? She's like, no. And she looked it up, and I'm like, there's no.
And I even told, because my nephew, he watches Mr. Beast, right? Or he could, or...
No, he can.
He can.
Some videos.
He's on Kids, right?
Yeah,
on YouTube
because
Kids.
he's in trouble. He's banned from regular YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser! 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 He's gonna shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shots fired, shots fired.
Stay out! You got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
So I told him, I was like, hey, did you know that Mr. Beast is 24? And he even looked at me. He's like, what?
Yeah, like he understood that 24 is not that
He looks older than
he
24.
looks older, but yeah. So in 1990, when they got married, he wasn't even born yet.
Apparently Mr. Beast is from 1998.
Yeah.
Wow. So back to the story. Their firstborn, Rudy, was born a little over 2 years later on July 10th of 1992.
Okay.
And Henry was born a little over 2 years later after Rudy.
So they were 2 years apart.
Yes. Henry was born on November 1st, 1994.
Okay.
And then Marley was born 4 years later on October 1st of 1998. Como Mr. Beast.
Como Mr. Beast. I was just thinking, all of them were born before Mr. Beast. I'm still pissed about that because he is rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the family was settled in Pretoria, which was actually one of the capital cities of South Africa, because apparently South Africa has 3 capital cities, which I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's where the kids were raised. Ahí crecieron los niños, ahí fueron a la escuela. Now, in 2006, the family moved from South Africa to Perth, Australia, literally on the other side of the world.
Damn, that's a big change.
For Martin's business.
Okay.
Now, the family, they settled, and then the kids, started school. They attended very prestigious schools and stuff like that. So, cuando ya crecieron un poquito más grande, Rudy graduated from high school, y he moved from where they had settled to Melbourne to attend Trinity College. Ahí, he graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in 2013. He then attended the University of Melbourne and was working towards his master's degree in engineering.
So, sin miedo. O sea, they were not scared of moving around. No como uno que tiene miedo ir al pinche...
Move right out of the city.
Yeah, like, what do you mean I'm moving to Madisonville? Like, that's like...
Or Humble.
What do you mean moving to Humble? That's an hour away from here. What the fuck?
Not even.
No, not even.
So Henry también graduated, because Henry was right behind Rudy, and he graduated high school in 2012. And then he also moved to and attended...
Te digo, like, no scared.
University of Melbourne.
No scared. Wow.
And he studied physics in 2013. So it was a little bit different than his dad and Rudy, because, they both studied engineering, and he was going into physics. And, Marley, todavía she was still in high school and stuff like that. So now, pasó el tiempo, again, about 8 years, and a new business opportunity presented itself to Martin back in South Africa.
Okay.
So the family decided to move from Australia back to their native country of South Africa.
But the boys were still in school. They stayed in there, pero the mom and the dad, y Marley se regresaron.
You took the words for it out of my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get it together because...
you're trying to piece it together. Okay. So they decided to move back to their native country in January of 2014. So Teresa missed being near family de todos modos, so it just kind of worked out for everybody que se regresaran to South Africa. Only Martin, Teresa, and Marley would be moving since Rudy and Henry were based in Melbourne now, like you said, because they were going to school. The family as a whole was a close-knit family. Like, todos los conocían as, good people. They were well-spoken, well-mannered, well-educated. Martin and Teresa were good parents. They were involved in their kids' lives, like school activities and such cuando estaban creciendo que they needed.
El soccer,
todas las cosas.
Las cosas la llevaban al dance.
His business partners just couldn't stop saying good things about him and all that stuff.
That's cool.
Now, the family finally settled in Stellenbosch and moved into the Desalce Golf Estate, which is a high-security, exclusive gated community. And by high security, I mean high security because it had electric fence.
Damn.
With anti-dig foundation. Like, you couldn't dig under the fence.
Bitch, why did I thought you said anti-dick? I was like, you just see my eyes? I was like, what?
What does a fence have to do with the dick?
Yes, what is an anti-dick fence? I was like, what? Did you see my face?
Yeah, you were like,
what the fuck? I was like, ¿cuál dick? ¿De qué estás hablando? No mames.
It's anti-dig. Like, you couldn't dig under the fence,
Bitch, I swear I could have sworn you said dick. I was freaking out over here.
And también it had barbed wire. They had thermal cameras, bitch. And all the CCTVs you could think of. There were patrol guards 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Basically...
impenetrable.
Yeah. No, but nadie puede entrar.
Yeah. The patrols were on foot and in mobile vehicles. And there was also, of course, very limited entry. There were only certain access into the community. So not anybody could just, go in
You
there.
can't just waltz in there. Como, ¿qué onda, compadre? ¿Qué pa' la carne?
Came here to deliver some pizza.
Yeah,
no, bitch.
Señor.
Now, in August of 2014, Henry decided to take a gap year from university and joined his family in Stellenbosch. So él se regresó. Y Rudy todavía se quedó in Australia. In December of that same year, Rudy and his girlfriend visited his family during their summer break. So, and then the whole Van Breda family spent the holidays together.
So estaban todos juntos at this point.
In December. January. Yeah.
Back at home.
Back in South
Africa. Okay.
Yeah. Now, Rudy's girlfriend returned back to Australia in mid-January. And then Rudy was going to go back in mid-February of 2015. Because, they came at the end of December 2014. They spent the holidays there. And then they were going to return back the following couple of months or so.
Okay.
Now, January 26th of 2015 was a regular Monday night for the Van Breda family. Teresa prepared dinner and la familia comió. Martin then worked a little bit after dinner. Henry y Rudy se pusieron a ver la tele. Cuando Martin acabó de trabajar, then he joined the kids and they watched TV. Teresa was doing her own thing. Yo creo que Marley estaba en su cuarto haciendo homework, like a regular Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the night, everyone went to their respective bedrooms at different times. But I think that by 11 p.m., everybody was in their room. Mm-hmm. And then Henry and Rudy shared a room. And then Teresa and Martin estaban en su cuarto. And then Marley had her own room. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show you a layout of the home in a little bit. Now, Henry was having trouble sleeping that night. So he turned on some anime for a little bit. And he turned it off because no la arrulló ni nada. And then
I don't think anime te va a arrullar.
No, but because sometimes when you watch TV to have something on.
Well,
I do that, I guess.
I listen to crime shit and then I'm like dreaming que ando peleando and shit. So,
no, pero te duermes, right?
Sí, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, me arrulla the fact that sounds horrible, but me arrulla the fact that people get caught and go to jail. One time, my husband and I were watching Cheaters.
Wow, God. You did tell me about this.
That show was so hilarious, dude.
It was
hilarious.
Well, didn't it come out that it was fake? Like there were actors?
You could tell, bro. I mean, come on.
Hey, but ahorita que me estoy acordando, didn't the host get stabbed in one of the episodes?
I don't know, but
I think so.
I don't know. I need to look it up. But guys,
now the
Cheaters,
quality
bro,
is so bad, right? Now that you see it now.
The quality is so bad. Y luego se bajan de la truck and all the lights are moving and shit.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Sorry, but yeah, I was watching Cheaters. Con eso me duermo yo con Cheaters.
So he put on some music, se puso sus headphones de teléfono. He was like, okay, a lo mejor la música sí me arrulla. So then...
Like white noise?
Yeah, or something. Pero it didn't help him either. Like around 3:30, se paró y se fue al baño. And he took his phone. Everybody takes their phone into the bathroom when they're going to go poop or whatever. So he did that. And he started to hear some noises. Like grunting and stuff like that. So se alzó sus chores or whatever y abrió la puerta and he saw that a figure was attacking Rudy with a fucking axe.
Wait, so Henry was asleep.
Rudy.
No. So who was the one listening? You said Henry was listening to music. No se puede dormir.
Yeah.
Right. Henry's the dad.
Henry's the son.
Oh, the oldest son.
No, Rudy's the oldest son.
Okay.
Henry's the middle son, and then Marley.
Oh, okay.
Martin
I get
is
it.
the dad.
Okay, I get it. Okay. Now I understand.
¿Te norteaste poquito?
Sí, me pendejé, pero what I didn't understand. So you said they shared a room.
Yes.
And so then.
El baño está dentro del cuarto.
Okay.
Yeah, por eso.
And then you said he had his headphones.
Pero se los quitó when he went to the restroom, but he still just took his phone with him to the restroom because he was going to poop.
And so then he comes out
and he was pooping in the restroom on his phone, and then he starts hearing noises.
Shit.
So se alza los chores para arriba, and then he...
Pues ni modo que para abajo, güey.
Pues obvio. Se sube sus pantalones, sus chores.
Gracias.
Y abre la puerta y es cuando ve eso.
Wow, with an axe,
With an axe.
Y las luces obviamente estaban apagadas.
Pero cuando abres la puerta, la luz del baño como que sale. And Rudy was laying down in his bed, estaba acostado. Because it was like 3:30 in la madrugada.
Oh, shit. Was it the witch's time?
The witching hour.
No empieces con el pinche viejo rojo.
So Henry empezó a gritar for help. Y en eso, Martin ran into the room, turned on the light, and saw what was going on. Mm-hmm. So he tackled the guy in what is described like a rugby tackle because como que se agachó para abajo and then just kind of lunged at the guy.
Yeah, like a football player. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he tried to put himself between the attacker and Rudy. And as he crossed over the bed to attack the guy, because the guy was at one end of the bed and then estaba la cama y luego Martin entró de este lado. I'll put a picture so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Y the attacker, as the guy, you know, Martin went over the bed, the guy with an axe hit Martin on the back of the head, like under, like his head, his neck.
Puta madre.
And like the back area. So Henry was standing like in the bathroom.
Yeah, he was in shock.
Yeah, he was in shock.
Yeah.
And and after the attacker finished his attack, I mean, he had already, you know, hit or attacked Rudy, and he had done it to Martin. He moved kind of like towards the door, the entrance, to kind of leave the room, and which was out of line of where Henry was, en el baño, porque el baño estaba aquí en la esquina, and then you kind of had to go like this, y luego estaba la puerta. So where Henry estaba parado, he couldn't see the intruder anymore. So he kind of went, sorry, I hit the mic. He kind of went like towards leaving the room. Mm-hmm. So Teresa had run to see what was going on. Y the attacker met her like right outside the bedroom door and proceeded to attack her. Después Marley llegó like right behind her mom. Y lo mismo. He attacked her too. While Henry estaba parado, like he was like literally in shock, frozen in fear. He couldn't
can you
even
imagine? Like, yeah. I mean, what the fuck? You just went to shit, and then sales y, I mean,
your family's
is getting murdered.
Yeah. So the attacker then made his way back into the room and made his way towards Henry.
Oye, bien Michael Myers tú.
Bitch. No lo dudes.
Don't fucking play with me. Pero Michael no puede porque he got...
Pues ya lo hicieron
carnitas, güey. No, lo hicieron carne molida. For real, dude. No, pero eso, that's crazy. Bien Michael Myers corriendo por tratar de chingarse a todos.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, he was out to get the whole family.
The whole family.
Like
with an axe.
Oh my God. You know, y luego my thought is like, dude, you have an axe is heavy, first of all. And then you hit somebody, pero luego te la trae. Like, I don't know why.
We'll talk about the axe right now.
Yeah, I was about to say. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cuckoo. So he made his way towards Henry, and they struggled, and Henry managed to like catch, cuando aquel iba a dar con la axe, he managed to catch it on his hand y se la quitó. And then the intruder en eso fucking pulled out a fucking knife.
Not the knife.
The knife.
No mames.
And then they were struggling, and Henry swung the axe and le alcanzó a rozar al guy or the intruder on the right shoulder.
Pero no le dio.
Como que le dio, pero como que le rozó también nomás. And then they continued to struggle. And the attacker managed to actually cut at Henry. He was cutting at Henry, like with the knife.
Oh, fucking Michael Myers style.
So the intruder was coming at Henry, y como que Henry like managed to like kind of grab him and pulled him to like the side of his body. Like lo puso pa acá. And then that's when the like attacker managed to, cuando estaba aquí de este lado, stabbed him on his left side of his stomach.
I'm sorry, but if I'm going to get stabbed, I'd rather get stabbed in the stomach porque como tengo fat. So, I mean, a lo mejor no me muero, güey, no mames.
You don't bleed out?
No, I mean,
well, just leave it in there. Don't pull it out.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you know, I'd rather, I mean, if you're gonna get stabbed, I mean, stab me in the stomach, porque don't stab me in the neck.
No, porque ya valiste entonces.
Sí, ya valí. Don't stab me on the leg. Pero
well,
en la stomach, I mean, I'm chill. You know, go ahead.
Now, when he stabbed the intruder, the attacker stabbed Henry, you know, Henry was like, what the fuck? So en eso, aquel se fue. Like, he ran out of the room, el attacker. And as he was going down the stairs, Henry managed to kind of go a little bit after him, but stopped at the very edge
of the stairs
when he realized that he wasn't really going to be able to catch up to el guy. So le aventó la axe. As the intruder was running down the stairs, capaz que le da un chingadazo y cae por ahí, and then, you know, he can like call or whatever. Pero the axe missed.
I mean, he's not like an axe
thrower. Yeah. And at the same moment is cuando estuvo parado ahí, he realized que ahí estaba Teresa and Marley, like right where he was at, because they were in a pool of blood. So, like I said, the axe didn't manage to hit the intruder, so he tried to run after him, de todos modos, and as he was running down the stairs, he slipped and he took like a pretty big fall. I mean, because it's puro blood, like there was just blood.
It was pretty like... gruesome. Yeah.
Pero like he kind of like picked himself back up and then followed the intruder because he went out the back door of the house, and then he followed también outside of the back door. Y cuando salió para afuera, he kind of looked to the side. He didn't see anything. And then he went back inside the house.
That's where he probably came in through, because the back door was unlocked. Because if you're going to come in through the door and you're going to go out another door, usually you lock all your doors. So no se iba a poder nada más salir.
Yeah, because you would have to be like unlocking something
the
that
door.
was...
Yeah, so I'm not a detective. But I'm just saying.
We've established.
But I'm just saying.
Or an intruder.
But that's what I would think, you know? from years of talking about this shit.
So I don't know what happened, if he was okay, but Henry called his girlfriend at this time, and it was 4:24 in the morning. I think she was back in Australia, pero ella no contestó. So he went back upstairs, and where he saw Teresa and Marley's bodies, and then because his phone, you can check phone history or whatever. So he Googled emergency contact numbers at 4:27 in the morning. But before he could call, se desmayó el güey. Like his body either just gave out from the shock.
He was probably bleeding from the side.
Yeah. O el chingadazo que se dio, like maybe he had a concussion por el chingadazo que se dio en las fucking stairs. Because eran stairs de piso.
De piso.
De piso. Yeah.
Y con más razón se iba a resbalar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he finally comes to, he goes downstairs to the kitchen, grabs the landline, and then calls the emergency communication center at 7:12 in the morning.
So he passed out from 4?
From 4:27 to 7:12, which is when he actually called the emergency center at, like I just said, 7:12. Now, the original call lasted 25 minutes, but for whatever reason, I could only find the 10-minute version, and I tried finding the 25 minutes one, and I couldn't.
It's probably like sealed somewhere.
Yeah, and I tried to click on links that had it, but then when I would click on the link, they see that it was like an error, like a 504 error or whatever. So
504, boys. What? Sorry.
Now, the call was very frustrating on both ends, from the dispatcher operator and from Henry, to be honest. And I'm going to play a little bit of the call just to so you can kind of gauge how it was, because it was definitely odd. Pero now, during the call, Henry tells the dispatcher operator person that he needs ambulance, and then kind of stutters a little bit. The operator tries to get his address. Wait, they go back and forth about this address for, I swear, like 7 minutes.
Bitch, pero ¿por qué? Can't they look it up?
Well,
if he was calling from the landline.
Es lo que he spelled out the address. I don't know how many times he told her the gated community they lived in. He was like, we're in Stellenbosch. Dice que no le salía nada. He goes to a point that he's like, I don't know what else to tell you, it's Stellenbosch. And there's a point where he tells her the name of the next town over, which is Jamestown. And then she's like, so she kind of gauge an idea of what they're located, right?
I cannot believe this boy. I'm sorry. He's standing there, just woke up from passing out, mind you. Se dio un vergazo. Y luego, his mom and his sister passed out muertas, in the outside of the room. And then his dad and his brother. Y esta güey no sabe dónde vive.
And then he was like, Jamestown. And then she was like, what's that? And he's like, the next town over. And dude, it was weird. It was weird. And she also asks him for his street name multiple times. And he spells it out for her multiple times. He tells her the cross street of his street. In nada. Like, I don't know what was going on.
He couldn't. Now, I have a question, Estela. You're probably going to tell us later. But he couldn't run to the security? Because if it was a highly gated community, there was light already. He could have run outside, no?
Pero de aquí a que llegues, you're right there. I don't know how far, like, the actual house was from a security.
Pero si no te oye la pinche vieja, and you're trying to tell her the fucking street and shit, and she doesn't get it?
And he's like, I'll tell you the cross street. I'll meet you guys outside. Pero
I would have been like, bitch, let me talk to somebody else.
There was, like, no sense of urgency from either end. And I know dispatchers and, like, operators are supposed to, like, be calm and all that stuff. And I get that. And I really do. But they fucking sounded like they were talking about cable service or some shit. I don't know.
Bitch, like, your family
Maybe
is
Henry
dead.
was, like, in shock. Like you said, se dio un vergazo. Those because they stabbed him. And he fucking, like...
And he passed out for, like, 2 hours or whatever it is.
Now, they finally get to the part where Henry tells her that his family had been attacked and that his sister seems to be moving, so that they need to hurry up. The operator's like, oh, you need the police then if somebody broke into your house. Then Henry tells her he's going to be outside. I think they finally communicate properly, or another operator gets on the line.
I'm telling you, I'm going to be like, look, get this motherfucking bitch out of here because no me entiende. I need to talk to somebody else.
So ese sale. And then he, like, waits for them outside.
Not my sister. She would be fucking writing emails and shit. What is your manager's name? Can you please? My sister would be like, what is your... Writing you an email right now. Like, bitch, calm down. No, le voy a escribir un email.
Well, Stephen, what is your emergency?
I need an ambulance. Lots of...
You need an ambulance?
Yes, please.
What's your name, sir?
Henri from Breda.
Henry, what's the contact number you're phoning from?
My home phone number, but I'm not sure what the home phone number is. My cell phone. We're at 12 Husker Street, please.
What is this number that you're phoning from? Is there someone else that can speak if you're not able to?
No.
He sounds like he's gonna pass out.
No one knows.
I need the contact number, please.
Yeah, okay. 021
021
8800
8800
493.
493. And you need the ambulance to go to what?
Number 12 Husker Street.
Hoskes.
Husker. G-O-S.
G-O-S. What area is this?
It's in Stellenbosch, and it's in the Zolta estate.
Number 12 Hoskes Street in Stellenbosch.
Yes.
I'm not picking it up for Stellenbosch. I'm picking it up for Burtis of Molnerton.
We're in the Zolta Winelands. It's an estate. D-E, and another word, Z-A-L-Z-E.
D-E-Z-A-L-Z-E.
Yeah, D-E.
I'm not picking it up for Stellenbosch. What area in Stellenbosch are you in?
I don't know. That's all that. We're in Zolta Winelands. It's an estate. It's a security estate.
Are you sure it's 12 Hoskes Street?
Yes,
Hoskes
absolutely.
is in Boertesig Molnerton, eh? And you're saying you're out in Stellenbosch.
Yes.
What? And you don't know what area in Stellenbosch?
I'm not sure how much more specific I need to be.
8800
Yeah.
Stellenbosch. Going to the mesa, you say there's a BP.
Yeah.
Is that all you know, the BP garage? No other shop near in your area?
Okay, try the Zolta Golf Club on my phone's maps. That's what it's called.
The golf club.
Yeah. It's the estate next to Techno Park.
Next to Techno Park.
It's by Jamestown as well.
Jamestown.
Yeah.
What is Jamestown?
Jamestown's the next suburb next to us.
Okay, found the line. I'll speak to the police.
Thank you, but please send an ambulance as quickly as possible.
Yes. Are you the only one that's conscious? You know,
Yes.
the others are unconscious. Hold
Yes.
on. I'll speak to police to check on your number, where you are. You don't know your street name, you say.
The street name is Husker Street.
Okay, I'm not picking it up on the contact number that you're giving me.
Yeah.
Trying to check this. Hold on for me. No. Can I get extra? No. I get it for Boertesig Molnerton.
If you just... okay, number 10 Alamand is just past my street. If you send an ambulance to...
Is it Anemone or Alaman?
Alamand.
Okay, spel dat voor mij gauw en wil ik die opkrijgen?
A-double-L.
A-double-L.
E-M.
E-N.
A-double-N.
A-double-N.
So alle man met twee N's. Ja.
Okay. Okay, what kind of injuries is there?
My family and we were attacked by a guy. An axe.
What's an axe? Unconscious, it is. Unconscious, huh?
Yes, and bleeding from the head, please.
Okay. Yeah, so it says number 10 Alaman Street, Zalzee Golf Estate in Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. So we'll send it. You just keep your phone open in case they get lost.
Yeah, can you please?
Okay. Yeah, they'll
call on my mobile phone.
Okay.
On my mobile phone, I'll be out in the street and I'll get the ambulance there.
Okay then. Okay, thank you.
How long will the ambulance take?
It won't be too long. They'll send the ambulance out as soon as possible. Okay then. Okay. Thank you, sir. Bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard, I kind of like fast forward through most of the 10-minute call, but you kind of get the gist of it. Like, yeah.
I have no words. I have no fucking words. Are you fucking kidding me? Like you were calling Sam's Club?
Like fucking trying to get dish or some shit. Cable.
I mean, the guy, obviously, he's frustrated. You can tell. Not only that, but he sounds like he's about to pass out. Like, he doesn't sound well.
Yeah.
And then the lady, I'm sorry, she was a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, she put somebody else that was more an idiot on the line. And then they're like, oh, you live on Alaman Street. No fucking shit. He's been trying to tell you this. Like, I feel so bad for him. That's horrible. And then, I mean, at the same time, he's probably freaking out. He's trying to stay calm because like he said, his sister's fucking bleeding out her head and somebody needs to come immediately. Like, that is fucking crazy to me. That is crazy.
Yeah. So the police arrive first. Llegan primero to the Van Breda home, and they found Henri outside near the front entrance, and he was wearing like his sleeping shorts and socks solamente, and he had visible injuries and cortadas on his body, and he also had like a black eye and a big ass chipote, I guess from the fall, on the left side of his head. There was also like dry blood on him and blood spatters on his shorts, and I think like a couple of blood drops on his socks. Now, according to the sergeant that arrived at the scene, Henri like seemed nervous and like shaking.
He was stuttering, like
emotional, and honestly, he looked pretty traumatized. Now, the first floor, cuando entras a la casa, it's like a pretty standard open concept. The first floor, when one goes through the front door, right away está la dining table, está la cocina. To the left está the staircase, and then to the right is the living room area. Let me see my phone so I can show Barb.
Okay, so I got the actual picture that Estela was talking about.
So you can kind of see, that's the second floor, but you can kind of see the first floor abajo, right? Like you see the stairs and then you kind of see the dining table abajo and then kind of like where the kitchen area was, right?
Yep. You can see, so basically you can see where Marley and Teresa are laying, and then you can see where you walk in. So the door, and then you can see the stairs up. So they were right at the stairs.
At the entrance.
At the entrance of the stairs.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
So on the first floor, cuando pasabas the stairs on the left, like there was a little hallway, like right off the kitchen and past the staircase, y estaba el garage. Okay, so that was like the first floor.
Mm-hmm. I see it has a door. Okay.
Yeah. Now, when the police entraron and they made their way up the stairs, they saw like blood on the staircase. And then they saw the axe on the first landing of the stairs. You kind of see it right where they found the axe on the stairs. Yeah, you can see it, yeah. Now they continued up, and that's where Teresa and Marley were found at the top of the landing in pools of blood.
There's like a lot, I don't know, pero aquí they have like a lot of...
Well, it's a head wound, so you're gonna
There's like a lot of, like a lot of spatter and blood. And it's like a cartoon, like that's, yeah.
No, like Tracy Stewart, I think was her name, if I'm not mistaken. And her video was bomb. She had like a little 13-minute video because she saw the actual... the crime scene video when it was recorded before crime scene went in there and collected evidence. So she saw the video and they kind of recreated the layout of the house. So that's where I got that from. And they did like an actual, ¿cómo se dice? What is that? It's like an actual like layout, like really well done.
Yeah. Like a layout or like an explanation. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and as Henri mentioned in the 911 call, Marley was moving and police saw that. They saw her right foot and her arm move. So, the 911 operators or their equivalency of 911, they said that EMS was on the way too. So, cuando los police officers vieron que Marley se estaba moviendo, they, themselves phoned EMS and they arrived quickly and they put her on a stretcher and they took her to the hospital where she underwent emergency surgery for her injuries.
Do you know where she got stabbed?
Yeah, we'll talk about her injuries.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Rudy and Henri's room, like as you can see in the picture, was as soon as you got to the top of the stairs, like the first door on the left, like really sharp left, it's literally the door right there. Mm-hmm. And when the police walked into the room, they found Martin and Rudy's bodies. And Martin was on Rudy's bed. You see it, right?
Yep.
So Rudy was found on the floor with his legs towards the bathroom door and his head closer to the end of Henri's bed. Mm-hmm. Barbie can see the pictures, but we'll post it so you guys can see what we're talking about. And at first it seemed odd to me because a Rudy lo atacaron on his
laying
bed.
Down. You said he was laying down.
In his bed, right?
But if he was trying to run...
Exactly. So la cama de Rudy was the first one when you walked into the room. It was the first bed. Mm-hmm. So he was either moved after he was stabbed by the attacker intruder, but before he was found in that final place where he was found, he was also in the middle space between the two beds because his blood pooled right there in the middle. And you can see the picture of all the blood that was there. So he was there and then he ended up where he was found.
He might have tried to get up.
Right. Yeah. Because an expert said that it was possible that he himself moved when he was attacked, or he didn't immediately die on the spot. Like he might, when you get like a head injury like that, you either go unconscious but you don't die, or you just move, try to get away from
because you're like the adrenaline and shit.
Yeah, it's running. Now, all 4 family members had severe head wounds.
So they got hit in the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
And during court, the pictures were too graphic, so none of them were released or anything like that. But they were bad. And all the family members were deceased by the time the police arrived, except for Marley, as we know. Now, Martin was only 54. Teresa was 55. Rudy was 22.
Oh, my God.
Marley was 16 and Henri 20. Now, based on the condition in which the bodies were found, the police quickly concluded that the axe that they saw cuando iban caminando por las escaleras was most likely the murder weapon. Now, Henri was also transported to the hospital for his injuries, which weren't life-threatening. And he also spoke to the police después, and he told them that someone had broken into the house and that the attacker was a tall black man dressed in dark clothing, and he was wearing a balaclava, which is kind of like a ski mask and only shows your eyes, and he was wearing gloves. And then what was really creepy también, he said that while he was doing all of this, estaba riendo.
No mames.
Boy, I'm like, I would shit my pants. I think that's the eeriest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, está bien que you're doing it because you're upset about something, but when you're laughing,
that's
that
scary.
Means, yeah.
That's psycho
That's
status.
like your brain is in another fucking...
And then he obviously explained how things happened from when he got up to go to the bathroom, and then how he heard noises up to when, he called the emergency center. So everything I described early on
I hope that all of those fucking dispatchers were fired. I just want you to know that.
So everything that I described was from Henri's point of view. Now, when police were back at the scene with Henri's statement to go off of, they realized quickly that things were not adding up.
Ay, no mames. Don't play with me. Not Henri. Ay, no. He was taking a shit, Estela.
Henri had stated that someone broke into the home intending to rob them, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Well, there was no sign of a forced entry. And
I called it. I should be a fucking detective.
Not only that, but there were valuables downstairs cuando uno entraba a la casa that could have been taken, but weren't. Like, for example, there was a laptop, which is, I think it was believed to be their Martin's when he was done working after dinner, and a purse on the one of the chairs from the dining table. Y la purse estaba wide open. There was nothing missing out of the purse.
Yeah, and if you're going to steal, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a robber, but if I was a robber, like, I wouldn't go upstairs to get caught.
Right.
Like, I would just take what I can, like, unas cuantas cosillas.
Like, why would you take
But why would you go upstairs?
To the second floor.
Yeah.
The garage was also in the first floor that you had access to from the first floor. It had 2 luxury vehicles, untouched.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo me voy al carro, like, and maybe some cash,
Yeah, la laptop. Una tele.
Yeah. No, sí he hecho la tele. Sí he hecho la tele.
En un carro y me largo.
Sí, un carro, la bolsa, the cash,
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, oh, let me go see what I can get upstairs. Like, not me.
It doesn't compute.
Yeah.
It doesn't clickety-clack, click.
Not me.
No?
I don't know, because I'm not
an intruder.
Or
an investigator.
But if I was.
Just saying. Like, maybe just. First of all, again, people have balls going into other people's homes, not knowing.
We say this all the time.
People have watched Don't Breathe? Is that the name of the movie?
I don't know.
Watch it. Instead of watching Scream 5 right now.
No, I'm watching Scream 5.
Okay. Because we want to go watch Scream 6.
Yeah.
But we
have to
seen
watch Scream 5 because, I mean, it has to be in chronological order.
Right. Spell chronological.
Chronological.
So as the police were investigating what happened, 2 days after the attack, autopsies were conducted on Martin, Teresa, and Rudy. Now, Rudy was the one that sustained the most blows, up to 7, which were to his skull and neck.
Fuck. Porque they all got hit in the head.
Yeah.
So this person was trying to kill them instantly, because you would think, like, I'm going to hit them in the head para que se mueran rápido. But if you're going to steal, I ain't going to go upstairs and kill nobody, bitch. I'm going to take the fucking car. I'm going to take the fucking...
The stuff.
Yeah.
The valuables.
See, me llevo maybe even a little sandwich. You never know.
Now, Rudy received 2 blows to the head before he had time to raise his hands in defense, because he had a wound on his little left finger. Now, the blows to the head were brought down so hard that his skull was smashed in.
Motherfucker.
And brain tissue was visible. There was also blood found in his stomach, which means he swallowed blood, which means he didn't die right away. Oh. And he was probably choking. He was in excruciating pain, so he died a horrible death.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Martin's blows were to his head and neck también and his central upper back, which meant that he was surprised and not aware that he was going to be attacked. He had skull fractures también. So the fact that he didn't have any defensive wounds also meant that he didn't expect to be attacked from behind.
Which does not make sense because Henri said that he came in to help his brother.
But Henri said.
Well, yeah, Henri said.
Henri said.
Okay.
Like Rudy, Martin also had blood in his stomach, which means he swallowed blood, which means he didn't die right away and was also in excruciating pain.
So they were screaming probably.
Now, Teresa's wounds were to the head. Casi todos. Teresa, it said that she, based on her wounds, she faced her attacker straight, like face to face. So she must have put up her right hand with her palm facing outwards because she had a defensive wound on her thumb.
Mm-hmm.
So Teresa died fairly quickly, ella tan siquiera, since there wasn't any blood found in her stomach, and I think she didn't tampoco respiró because it would have found like particles in her lungs or something like that. Now, the pathologist stated that the killer wielded the axe with, quote, a tremendous amount of force.
That's what I was thinking.
And a high rate speed.
I was thinking I'm not trying to be funny, but you know how in the cartoon se queda la pinche axe and then you like I don't know. I'm not Michael Myers.
The
Pero
axe
si le das,
wasn't
wouldn't it get like stuck or something?
The axe wasn't very big. It was only 9 pounds. And
he, like whoever it was, must have gone.
It wasn't like the regular axe that you think of that you're chopping wood
Michael
with.
Myers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Myers has a knife.
Well, sí, trae a knife, but I'm just saying sometimes he has an axe.
Does
yeah, in the last movie he had he would pick up everything.
Yeah, he did. He was fucking up everybody. Yeah, I forgot. Oh, he always be fucking up everybody. De todos modos, but
I'm just saying, like, if you're telling me that the knife is not even that big, the person the axe. The person that did this must have had a lot of rage because, first of all, head, face, all of these wounds sound personal. And then the fact that the pathologist said that it must have been done with so much force. Like if the fucking knife was only now 9 pounds. Axe. Fuck. I'm sorry.
It's because we haven't done an axe case, have we? No.
Not an axe. We've done explosives. No axe.
No axe. Mm-mm. Now, Marley's injuries, which she was recuperating from, were consistent with the ones her family had sustained. And she had blows to her head and neck también. And I think she had a hit too. They hit a jugular vein.
Fuck.
Yeah.
They try to cut her head off?
No, like when she...
Oh, okay. I thought it was like this.
Yeah. But she had the most defensive wounds. So
she fought
to her hands, to her wrists, the back of her hands, her knuckles. So she fought her attacker the most. But Marley thankfully made it through surgery, and a couple of days later, even though she was still in critical condition, she was stable.
Okay.
And
we need her to wake up.
She was heavily guarded at the hospital.
Yeah.
Like I don't think even family was really allowed to see her.
No, nobody.
So she was like under lock and key. Now, days following the horrific murders, the residents of Stellenbosch were scared. I mean, rightfully so, because the police weren't releasing any information and they hadn't made any arrests. And as the police were starting to, really ramped up their investigation, Henri was staying with family. Mm-hmm. So he was staying with one of his uncles in Stellenbosch. And he was receiving trauma counseling. In the weeks that followed, Marley started to make significant improvement. She wasn't talking, she couldn't talk, but she could move her legs, and they would show her pictures of family members, and she recognized who they were. And I think she would make signs with her eyes or something. Like they would tell her to blink or something. And police wanted to talk to Marley. Like
that's the first thing I would do. I would ask her to start writing something on a piece of paper.
They needed her to make like a well enough recovery that they could talk to her, because she was the key to solving the case and the murders. But it was going to take time, obviously, because she didn't just sustain any like a stab wound.
I mean, she got her fucking artery axed. Like, what the hell?
Now, some details about the call that Henri made started getting reported by the media, like specifically how long it took him to make the call, which was almost 3 hours.
That's what I said, because he's saying that he passed out.
Right.
It could happen, though.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying. I believed him.
It was also reported that Henri was a drug addict and that he had been sent to rehab in 2014 after his parents told him to get clean or they were going to cut him off. which kind of coincided with him taking a gap year from university.
Mm-hmm.
His drug dealer even gave an interview or something like that.
Stop, not the drug dealer.
And then he even identified Henry with the fucking picture and said that he was a regular.
That is fucked up. You know what? That drug dealer, he's the bad bitch of the fucking story. He's the bad bitch. He said, yep, he's a regular. That's him. Oh my God. And what was his veneno of choice?
I don't remember. I think they called it tick, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if it was... I'm not going to say anything because honestly, I don't know.
You don't know. Maybe pastillas or something.
I don't think so. I want to say it was meth, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So Marley was eventually released from the hospital about a couple of weeks into March and was going to a rehab facility to continue her recovery. And up to that point, she hadn't given a statement to police, but she was aware of what happened. Like, she was told that her parents were deceased, and so was Rudy. In April, when the police finally were able to speak to Marley because she had made significant progress, she was diagnosed with retrograde amnesia and she couldn't remember anything.
Couldn't remember. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I kind of knew that was going to happen.
Because,
but...
bitch, you're taking an axe to your fucking head. Multiple blows. How do you... I'm surprised you even fucking remember your name.
Yeah. And especially remember people that your family and shit.
And that's what they say that, like, pathologists, and they're
Can
like...
you imagine, like, waking up from that and being like, oh, yeah, don't remembering what the hell happened to you. And then your parents and your brothers are dead.
And they did say that they were like, well, why did she survive and not the others? But they were saying that her age had a lot to do with it. Yeah. And the fact that she put up more of a fight, maybe she was, or stuff like that. So,
or maybe she was like, she fell down fast and they thought she was dead.
Me, yeah.
Yeah. They were like, oh, we're done. Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
But then when he's like, oh, my sister's moving, maybe he's like...
But in the call, I mean, he was like, y'all need to hurry up
because my sister... Maybe he didn't want to kill her.
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't kill... I don't know.
There would be no arrest made until June 13 of 2016.
Damn.
A warrant was issued for Henry's arrest, and he turned himself in on the advice of his lawyer before he was arrested. And he spent the night in jail and appeared at the Stellenbosch Magistrates Court the next day to face 3 murder charges, an attempted murder charge, and obstruction of justice charge.
Okay.
Now, when Henry turned himself in and he was in custody, a spokesperson for the National Prosecuting Authority, I'm probably going to butcher his last name, but I get it because people always butcher my last name.
So you know what? You have that right.
Yeah. Eric Natsbasalia? I don't know. Sorry, man. You seem like a great
Eric.
man.
You seem like you did a wonderful job. Yeah.
So he spoke to the media and he told them why it took a long time to make an arrest and explained some of the evidence that they had stacking up against Harry. Mm-hmm. Henry, what the fuck?
Cálmate, Harry. No, I said Prince Harry, no.
No, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
The boy that lived. Some of the evidence that he explained was the length of time it took him to make the call.
Yeah.
Also, a neighbor said that he or she heard shouting or screams coming from the home on the night of the 26th, like around 10 p.m. So who was arguing, right? It kind of makes you think that somebody was arguing. And how the axe and knife were from the house. Like, it belonged to the Van Bredas.
Okay.
And how some of the DNA found on Henry was from the deceased. Which, I mean, he was there, right? So why wouldn't some of the DNA somehow get on him?
Yeah.
And he said that it took them so long because they wanted to dot all their I's and cross all their T's, and they wanted to present a case that was gonna for sure get them a conviction. You just didn't want to half-ass something just to arrest somebody so quickly when...
Just to have somebody arrested.
Yeah. You know, so...
That makes sense.
Now, when Henry appeared in court, he requested bail, and it was granted.
Yeah, because he had the money.
Pending trial, right? Bond was set at 100,000 Rand, which is their currency, which is only $7,000.
Stop.
Yeah, almost 8, but yeah. Which is not a lot.
Bitch, people be getting $1 million bonds over here in Texas.
In America.
In America.
America. But that's America for you.
Yeah.
He couldn't leave the Western Cape and had to hand over his passport, which, I mean, they didn't believe he was a flight risk anyway, so... And Henry, of course, pleaded not guilty to any of the charges. Trial would begin on April 7th of 2017.
Okay.
Which is not even that long ago, bitch.
No. 17, 18. Oh, yeah. It's not that long ago.
She had to count with her fingers.
I had to count with my finger. I'm sorry. It's just this drink got to me already.
And the trial will last 67 days with Judge, hopefully, I'm sorry, Senor.
No, it's
you look
okay,
great.
Stella. You deserve it.
Siraj Desai presiding over, like he was a presiding judge.
You know why she deserves it? Because everybody butchers the shit out of her last name. So you deserve it, sister. Go ahead.
Now, South Africa doesn't have jury trials.
What?
Yeah, it was abolished in the 1969. And the state and defense present their cases and evidence to the judge, and he makes the final ruling. Judge Siraj Desai actually went to inspect the home, the Van Breda home where the murders took place.
Wow.
And he was briefed in everything that happened and where things were found.
I like
and stuff.
that.
But you know what? They've been jury members, because I remember in the case of Catherine Knight, the crazy bitch from Australia.
Yeah.
Some of the jury members, I remember they went to go see the house where she did.
I do. Yeah.
You know, I guess here is just a judge doing it, you know?
Which actually would make sense.
Yeah.
Because in that case, they can actually see, instead of going based on what they tell them, which I'm sure they see the evidence and shit, but bro.
But you have to plead your case. I mean, obviously you have to beyond a reasonable doubt,
No,
you know,
you need to go and see what happened.
You know, my friend Anna, she used to work for a criminal defense attorney. And I'm never going to forget that she told me this, that he told her, you know, it's not about the truth. It's about what can be proven in court.
True.
It's
100%.
You know, and I never forgot that. And this was years ago, but I was like.
And she doesn't fucking forget anything. So I'm not surprised.
I remember everything.
Yeah.
So
hi, Anna.
Hi.
Because she listens.
She listens. So, like I said, the judge was briefed on the layout of the home and where things were found and stuff like that.
I think that's an awesome idea. I'm not trying to be a bitch or anything, because I'm pretty sure America has a great justice system, ¿verdad?
Justice system.
Because that's what they are. But I'm just saying, like, you know, that's awesome to see how different it is somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know?
And now during the trial, I feel like the prosecution had more going for them than the defense.
They had a lot more evidence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or like arguments, you know?
I would say, but I'm not a detective.
Or a prosecutor.
Or
an intruder.
Apparently, I'm nobody. Here, I'm nobody.
During the trial, the prosecution argued.
Wow.
Ya te habías tardado.
Hey, you were doing pretty good.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
So during the trial, the prosecution argued that Henri was the one that attacked his family, not an intruder. Mm-hmm. And they exposed all the inconsistencies in Henri's testimony, right? When Henri was testifying and was asked how was it that an intruder broke into the home and didn't take anything, but decided to go on a murder spree upstairs.
Hold on, let me tell you something before Stella moves on. I just went online to see this house. This was not a regular house. This fucking house was beautiful.
Oh,
like,
yeah, well, I mean,
they had money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is exactly, they could have taken some fucking glasses for all I care, and they could have sold that, you know, or whatever it was. There's no reason.
Una
planta, because I'm pretty sure it has some expensive ass nopales in there.
Yeah.
You know, but what I'm saying is there's no reason for the intruder to go upstairs. Literally, this house is huge, Estela. Like, there's no reason for them to go upstairs. I don't understand that either, but I'm not an intruder.
Exactly. So, like I said, you know, they asked him, why is somebody going to break in and not take anything but go murder everybody upstairs? Mm-hmm. He didn't have an answer for that. Henri couldn't explain that away. He also didn't have an answer on how this intruder could have broken in, yet there was no sign of forced entries.
I called it.
Now, there is a quote that seems to be going around when talking about how secured the community, like this community that they lived in was, which was that security experts said that not even Houdini himself could have broken into the Van Breda's home undetected.
Damn. And in the dick fences, in the dick fences, se metieron por ahí, bro.
Using the dick.
Using the dick. Let's dig it out with my dick. No, but I just feel like, based on what you said, I'm pretty sure that they had everything covered. Like, they probably had video. There was no way.
They had thermal cameras.
Bro, I'm saying, please, guys, if
the fucking Splinter Cell and shit over here.
For real, Estela, you need to post a picture of this house because it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mind you, like, it's huge. Like, I was thinking una pinche casilla pedorra. No, this is
Wait, I
huge.
told you it was a high security exclusive community. Where do you think they were fucking living?
They had dicks in their fences. I don't know.
Anti-dig.
D-I-G,
not D-I-C-K.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, like, bitch, there was no way. There's no way.
Now, another argument against Henri was, again, the length of time it took him to call the emergency call center after the attack.
Yeah, but he could have passed out.
Which was almost 3 hours. Now, according to Henry, he passed out, right?
Yeah.
Experts were brought in to testify if it was possible for him to pass out from the fall he had taken or from shock. And it was possible, but not necessarily for that long of amount of time.
Makes sense.
But to this, the defense argued that Henry passed out because he suffered from juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, or JME, which he was diagnosed with in 2017. So that same year that the trial started. Now, according to the Epilepsy Foundation, JME seizures typically start between the ages of 5 and 16 and are then followed by myoclonic jerk about 1 to 9 years later.
Okay.
These seizures are also known as absence seizures and can cause lapses in awareness, which could possibly explain why Henry seemed to be so calm when he was making the call, because he was like disoriented, like no captaba lo que estaba pasando.
I could understand that. That's what I thought
yeah,
when I heard him, because he sounded like he knew something was wrong, but como que
no lo sentía,
like his stuttering wouldn't, like he was like trying to tell them, but then at the same time he was so focused on telling the lady pendeja what the fucking name of his street that he was like
or his town,
but he was like he was focused on. He forgot that. Then later on,
and obviously we only heard a little bits and pieces of this call and not the 25-minute call, so quién sabe.
Why the fuck was he on the phone for 25 minutes, Estela?
They were trying to figure out the address.
Bitch, 25 minutes? I mean, what if Marley could have been a lot better if they would have found her earlier? I need those people to get fired right now.
The call was played in court, obviously. Yeah. Oh my God, I just spit everywhere. I'm sorry.
Pinche cochina.
It was brought up how calm he was while making the call and how he had no sense of urgency. The dispatcher testified, la señora.
No trajeron a la señora. Por favor, tell me que no la trajeron. Because I'm going to be pissed. Estela.
The dispatcher testified and said that she thought that the call was a prank because of the lack of urgency from Henry. Because he didn't ask, can I do any medical things to help my sister? She's moving. Like, what can I do to help the people?
He didn't say nothing about anybody being attacked hasta que ya se iba a acabar la call.
Yeah, but this is only...
I know, but I'm just saying, like, let's be real. Like,
and also, something was brought up. It's saying that it kind of sounds like Henry chuckles at a part of the call.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm going to play it for you guys so you can hear. I thought you picked it up at first, but you didn't say anything.
I picked it up, but I didn't want to...
Say anything? Yeah. Look, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it like back to back to back.
Yes, and bleeding from the head.
You hear that?
Mm-hmm. He does it again whenever he actually was telling her something about...
at the very beginning, right?
At the very beginning. Y luego, like... I thought that he was kind of like, oh my God, they don't understand me, know? And so then at that moment, he starts laughing. But that's what it sounded like to me.
Look, again.
Yes, and bleeding from the head.
That.
I think he's saying please.
Bleeding from the head.
It sounds like he's saying please.
No, I mean, that doesn't matter. Like, that's not really that big of a deal. It's like a second, not a nanosecond of a call. Now, one of the most damning pieces of evidence against Henry was that his wounds...
Oh, of course.
We're all superficial.
Yeah, definitely.
They barely broke the skin, and his cuts were all similar. Mm-hmm. Which this wouldn't be the case if they were caused by someone who was trying to fucking kill you, right?
I saw the cuts. I saw the video, the picture online.
I'm gonna airdrop them to you too, so you can.
And they literally look like scratches from my dog. I think my dog will probably scratch you harder than that. This fool. Literally, se hizo como una rajada en la titty. Literally, there's like 4 pinche rajadas, like straight up. Like for the amount of rage that this person had.
To everybody else in his
but
family.
Him that was going to stay alive and could possibly pick him out of like a lineup or something. Like, I don't know. I don't think that, you need to post those because they are ridiculous.
And last but not least... evidence against Henry.
Besides
everything else.
The drug dealer saying that it was him.
That he was a regular.
Yeah.
Blood spatter, bitch. Now, the blood splatter.
The blood splatter. Wow.
It was going to be, I was trying to combine the blood and the splatter together.
I get it.
So the blood spatter at the scene did not match Henry's version of events, ¿verdad? Mm-hmm. For instance, the axe that was found on the first landing in between the stairs Henri said he threw it at the intruder. Well, the blood spatter was consistent with the axe being placed there, not thrown.
Yeah. Because you could, like when you throw something, like the velocity of the,
right,
the
as
droplets
opposed to just laying it there.
Yeah.
Now, not only that, but based on the distance from where Henri threw the axe from the top of the landing to where the intruder was at that moment, the axe should have hit the intruder. Because it wasn't that fucking far. You're here.
Literally,
it
was
there.
like 10 steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they did it like a test
Y
and
si
stuff.
se cayó él, why would the intruder not fall? If there was like...
A lo mejor uno iba más agarrado que el otro. ¿Quién sabe?
Or maybe... yeah, maybe.
Now, it was argued that Henri did not pass out at all because the way the blood dried on him was not consistent with someone who was laid out and passed out. If he had passed out, the blood droplets would have deviated from the path of the wound, but they didn't. Unless, if he did pass out, he would have had to pass out fucking sitting up.
Se sentó and then he passed out. He was sitting down. Let me pass out now.
Or he didn't pass out and was waiting for his family to bleed out before he called the police, right?
Or maybe for his family to stop screaming because they were still alive. Because I'm sure they were making noises.
Waiting for them to bleed out, right?
Yeah, definitely. But the thing is, para todo esto, why?
That's the thing. Hold on. He also had, like I mentioned, blood on him, like some blood spatter.
On his socks, dijiste.
Yeah, was not consistent where he said that he was standing during the attacks. Now, he said that he was just inside, like la foto dice, he was just inside the bathroom door before getting into the room. It's funny because
in the picture, he's wearing a whole ass suit.
Well, that's the monito that they made.
Yeah, I know. They made a monito, but like everybody is like just like an outline, but then he's standing there in a suit in the toilet. I'm like, okay.
So like I said, he said that he was just inside the bathroom door and that some of the blood splattered all the way over there because remember, Rudy was found right there. So maybe they were moving where everything was happening. But he had blood spatter on himself, but the door and the walls around the door of the bathroom did not have any blood spatter. Now, the defense case argued that it was the intruder that broke in that night and attacked the family. Like that was their case. They weren't deviating from that at all.
From whatever Henri said.
Yeah. Henri testified and his story was pretty much consistent. He never changed his story like, some other people do.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
We've had some cases in here.
Yeah. Also, to the defense argument, none of Henri's DNA was found of any of his family members. If he had done it, right? You'd think that, some of his DNA would have gotten on them.
He looks pretty clean. Like if you see the picture, it looks like he cleaned himself at a certain spots y luego then he scratched himself. Like it's weird.
And if he was the one that had attacked his family, why didn't he have any of Teresa or Marley's blood on him?
I think he cleaned himself.
I believe he only had like one spot on his socks, but he kind of just probably passed by or walked over something and got that on him,
But wouldn't he have had more blood?
But what if he jumped between like spots,
But if you're passing out and you're jumping?
But did he pass out?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like the.
So who says that what I described earlier, which was based on Henri's point of view, actually happened that way?
Who says? Yeah.
We don't know.
I don't. I wasn't there.
The only one person was there, and well, two, but Marley no se acuerda.
Pobrecita. They should put her under hypnosis como Brittany.
Yeah. So since he didn't have any of Teresa or Marley's DNA, that would corroborate his story about how he was still standing by the bathroom door.
Yeah.
And when he lost sight of the attacker, that he went towards the bedroom door leading out to the hallway, right? Now, Judge Siraj, he heard all the evidence. He heard both the defense and the prosecutors. He went to the home. And on May 21st of 2018, he found Henri von Breda guilty of all charges.
Damn, dude.
He was given 3 life sentences for the murders, 15 years for the attempted murder of Marley, and another year for obstruction of justice because, they think that he tampered with the scene because he was there for so long afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Now, he said, quote, "The weapon used against the deceased and the injured was an axe, with the victims unarmed and defenseless. It was a cold-blooded murder, and the violence was excessive and gratuitous and intended to cause maximum harm," end quote. Now, a lot of people believe that Henri's motive was money.
Always. The root of all evil.
That if he killed his whole family, he would inherit everything. And, since he had a drug problem, they had, told him that they were going to cut him off because he would have inherited 200 million rand which is like $11 million if Marley had died. And if, I mean, his family passed away.
But
and
why didn't he finish her off, though?
Quien sabe? But that's the thing. If he would have been acquitted of the charges, if he would have been found not guilty, he would have inherited that money. But because he was found guilty, it all went to Marley.
Wow.
To this day, Henri maintains his innocence. And some of the Van Breda family, like I think sisters de Teresa, and they agree that
they stand by him.
They stand by him
because they've never found any other evidence of anybody trying to get in the house. Like nothing.
Well, there was like break-ins and stuff like that because there was a gang wearing balaclavas. They was literally called the balaclava gang or something like that. So initially they thought that it was that gang, but that gang was violent but they would take shit.
Yeah, but I mean,
and also if you're gonna break into the home, wouldn't you bring your own weapons?
Yeah. I wonder where that axe and that stuff was at.
No, the axe was in the pantry because the axe was little. It was only like
it was probably to cut meat.
Exactly, and the knife belonged to the Van Bredas.
Wow.
It was from one of their kitchen.
And this sucks because I'm guessing that you're almost done with the case.
I'm done, and
we don't know why.
He's saying that it wasn't him.
Oh my God. I just can't believe this.
But to that, like you say, it's attacks like that are I'm sure they happen where you don't know that person that it's attacked. Let's say somebody does attack, you get robbed and somebody does attack you that hard and it's not personal, they're just trying to rob you. But this was hardcore.
Yeah, whoever it was, he went ham. Like for the fact that he like got his sister's jugular, like bitch, like you were trying really hard. Or if it was him, allegedly.
Well, he was convicted. He was him.
But we have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
They said that Martin, now that, they said, okay, it was Henri did it. They said that Martin didn't have any defensive wounds because he did get between Rudy and Henri and he saw what was going on. So he tried to cover Rudy thinking that Henri no le iba a hacer nada a él because he was there. But he did anyway. If it was Rudy, right? If it was Henri, I'm sorry.
What if they got into a fight and maybe...
Right, because the neighbor heard screaming the night before on the 26th. Pero Rudy received the most blows out of everyone.
Yeah, because he was mad at his dad, of course.
No, Rudy's his brother.
Oh, his brother. Because he was mad at his brother. I mean, you hate your brother. Not you personally, but you
I was going to say, I don't hate my brothers.
No, I'm just saying, like, whenever, probably since he was the... I don't know, smallest. I don't know. I'm just trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. But this is crazy. Thank you, Estella, for bringing that case to light. And if y'all want to look it up, you're more than welcome to.
We'll post pictures of the family.
We will.
And the house ended up selling for, I don't know how many, 2-point-something million rods or something like that. So, I mean, it's a beautiful home.
It's beautiful.
I'm sure it was probably a steal compared to the other estates in the community. So
yeah, and not only that, but we have to remember that they had all the CCTVs and all the fucking
thermal cameras.
Fucking all of it.
Yeah.
Even thermal cameras and all of that. Impenetrable shit. Like, fuck.
I mean, it was considered one of the safest places to live in South Africa. Like the whole country of South Africa.
That's crazy to me. But so thank you so much for listening. And we will see you or talk to you in
the next episode, which will be brought to you by Barbie.
Yeah. And first, before we leave, I wanted to give thanks to everybody because we did reach 3,000 downloads.
Yeah. And 100 followers on Instagram. Yes.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate everybody's support. Please, if you don't mind, it would mean a lot to us if you could please share, or at least follow us.
Our show, our podcast.
You can follow us on Instagram at
Cafecito and Crime Pod or send us an email to
cafecitoandcrimepod@gmail.com. So send us an email. Tell us what you want to hear from us. Anything that you think, anything.
I mean, we're kind of try to do cases that are not so high profile, because everybody, the Ted Bundy, the Jeffrey Dahmer, that fucking John Wayne Gacy, like all those are super big cases. The Night Stalker, all that stuff. There's always a whole bunch of John Benet Ramsey, all that stuff.
All of those are kind of higher profile. So,
and there's always a lot of information that you could go to. And I feel like casos así are so daunting because there is so much already out there, so that you're like, Oh my God.
It's very ¿cómo se llama? Intimidating. Yeah, it is very intimidating because, at least for me,
No,
because
for me too.
I'm like, shit, what the fuck? ¿Dónde empiezo?
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Well, you can always start at the beginning at least, but
Yeah,
it's a lot.
no,
It's an
it's a
undertaking.
lot. So
but you don't want you don't want to half-ass something like that,
and we,
you know? So.
we hope that we're doing well and everybody is liking.
Oh, you can rate us too. También, I forgot to say that.
Oh, you
rate
can please rate us and let us know what you think.
And download our episodes. And yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Or cheers. For our after hours.
All
okay,
right. Thank
bye.
you. Bye.